What's going on, everybody? I am your host, Decaf, and welcome back to Black and Queer at the Table, where we talk about what's new, what's happening, and what's what in LGBTQ culture. Now, today, y'all, I have a very special surprise. And no, it is not a new hairstyle, although I did get my wig flipped. Today, I have a very special guest with us, and for the first time for them on our platform here at the Closet Unlocked, I want to introduce you all to one of Detroit's own pop sensation, singer, songwriter, and creative, Siena Liggins.
Hi, thanks so much for having me, Darius, and the Closet Unlocked. I'm super stoked to be here, and your wig looks great.
You said what?
And your wig looks great.
Oh, thank you. I just got it done yesterday, trying out a new style.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, you all. So we are so glad to have Siena here in the flesh. If you all remember from our 4th episode where we shared some random facts about her and also a starter pack playlist to some of her different songs so you all can get a little bit of a sneak peek. We're so grateful to actually just have her here to be able to kind of discuss her experience as an artist and, you know, just to give us a little tidbits about what's been going on with her and just kind of some of her influences. So speaking of our starter pack playlist, the first song that we have on there is Flower Bomb, which is a phenomenal song. I love it, which is why it's number 1 on the playlist I created. But it's also off of her recent EP, Miss Out Tonight. So do you want to give the people a little bit of just kind of a summary of your experience working on the album and just kind of your fruits of your labor that you've been receiving since kind of putting it out?
Totally. It's so funny that Flower Bomb is your favorite one. We laugh about that one a lot because it's the first song that I ever put out. And I actually put it out single, like 3 years ago.
Okay.
It's actually coming up on its 3rd year anniversary next month.
Ooh, congrats.
Yeah, thank you. And it just felt right, you know, like it felt right to roll it into the project. And so I gave it a little bit of a facelift and reimagined some things about it. And it really like is wild to listen to like the first version of it versus like where it is now and just all the growth in between. But it is hilarious to me that no matter what I do, it's always everybody's favorite song. I'm like, I should have just stopped there because
it's such a good upbeat song. It's so honest. And, you know, and now that you say that, I actually had the song saved to my library. And then as I was putting out the playlist, I noticed that there was a new EP. So I switched it to the EP version. So now I have to go back and compare both versions of it.
Compare the versions. I might have actually taken the old one down, but it's probably somewhere out there. Like it's still the same version as on YouTube. The old version's still out there. But I love that song. It's like, like you said, is very honest. And it really like started my journey as an artist because I wrote that song while I was still in school for songwriting. Okay. I went to this music school in Detroit called Dime. And I was at the time going on dates with this girl who she was in a relationship that was like kind of rocky and falling apart, and she was feeling me, and I was, you know, head over heels for her.
Yeah,
and exactly. And it was just very, very like honest for me at the time. And she wore this fragrance called Flower Bomb, and whenever she would leave, like my room and my pillows would smell like her. And I don't know, I just put it to keys one day. And I was like, dress up, head down.
Made it come to life.
Yeah, after that, it just came to life.
Yeah, wow, that's so
doing good.
So do you have a certain type of inspiration for a lot of your music? I noticed that a lot of your music, you're speaking about someone that you may have been in a relationship or situationship or even just interested in, and just kind of how that relationship kind of goes and plays along in the story. So is that one of your main inspirations, or are there multiple?
Yeah, I would say that's probably like my main inspiration. I mean, I draw inspiration from so many places. Like I tell other people's stories as well. I grew up as thinking that I was always going to be a writer. Like I think at one point in time I thought I'd be a journalist, and then at another point in time I thought, you know, maybe I'd get into like political science, and music just found me. It just really like came into my life, and it was something that was always there. My parents had me in choir. I was in theater, but it really like, it got to a point where the story that I needed to tell was one that only I could tell. And a lot of my songs are written and based off of like text messages, like you said, from like situationships or relationships or conversations I've had. I've had songs based off of voicemails or just feelings I have. And a lot of them are just based around the girls that I'm being intimate with, or that I'm like, you know, I'm sharing my life with, and like intimate beyond, you know, just like the physical, but like I said, like sharing my mind and my space and my thoughts and like deepest feelings with. And I hadn't heard any songs that really like put it exactly how I wanted to sing it,
Right.
especially not by like a queer woman. And so it just felt like something I needed to do.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you were able to do that, and you're still doing it and doing it successfully, because like you said, we don't have many people that look like us that are telling these stories exactly how we're living them, and you
Yeah.
know, not kind of sugarcoating them or using different words to kind of cover the experience, but actually being raw, being real and authentic with the things that you've experienced in your life and how people have made you feel and who you have had in your life. So I definitely thank you for, you know, being that positive representation for us and doing things and opening doors that other people are going to eventually walk into. So just kind of with
Yeah.
that, you do, it seems to kind of make a conscious decision in your music to use specific pronouns to, you know, explicitly say who you're talking about and help the public and your fans understand your message and your story and everything. So with that being a kind of new artist and entering the pop industry, have you seen that kind of have any negative or positive influences in your music, or just kind of how you engage with other people?
I mean, I won't really speak on the negative because I tend not to really pay a lot of attention to it in general. I would say like one of the largest like blessings of it is I get so many messages and so many I see tweets, like I read them, where people are like, I feel very seen, or this is exactly what me and my girlfriend are going through, or I put this on a playlist for my girlfriend. And I'm not like going in the studio and being like, we gotta hit a quota of how many songs have this pronoun or this exact scenario. Like I said, like I'm writing about my life. I'm writing and singing about literally, you know, me and my girl or whomever. Um, and it is such like a nice feeling when other women come to me or I see them talking amongst themselves and they feel reflected or represented. And I don't know, that's not like a easy hat to wear because it can be very risky. And like you said, there can be negatives that come with it. But for now, it's really, really good and it's really, really honest for me.
Right. And then I can imagine that it's because a lot of your music and your songs and your lyrics help people see that story. It's just like kind of reading a good book or watching a movie, and you're actually able to see yourself kind of in these characters, in these roles, and just kind of in those experiences. So I want to touch on the visuals of your EP album, which was a great way to also be able to tell that story. So I just wanted to know, what were some of the like influences behind your, I guess, the artistry of it? Because I have some things such as like the green girls dancing. That was very cute. I thought it was hilarious. The chicken nuggets, that was also a funny part of it. Or even just the like the names that you had written on tape for the Barbie dolls. Just kind of small things like that. I think it adds character to it. So I just kind of want to just ask, what were some of those influence behind that?
Totally. Well, the main influence was my life. I'm a 90s baby. I've grown up on I've grown up on kitschy, like cartoons, like Saturday cartoons, like very much like overproduced and kind of like, you know, fun art. That's like the stuff I've been drawn to. Like I love like very like modern and contemporary art. and I love color. And so it kind of started there. And I really wanted it to follow the like sonic journey of the album as well. But yeah, I worked with my friend Maddie and my friend Irini, who creative directed and set designed it. And I really had this vision where I was like, here's the direction that I want to go in. I want it to be loud and in your face and obviously queer and very like woman focused. So like no men on camera.
I know, loved it.
And if I could have had it my way, there'd be no men behind the camera, but I haven't figured that part out yet.
One day.
But I love the team that I work with, like Hustleberry Finn and BMVP are like, that's my brother. But yeah, I really wanted it to be something that I could carry on the story of the album, what you hear in your headphones or on your speakers or in your car. I wanted you to be able to watch that too. And I am like a very like loves life. I don't take myself too seriously. Like I'm not afraid to wear a banana suit and eat chicken nuggets on screen.
Just enjoy it. Enjoy the moment.
Just enjoy the moment. Be who you are and, you know, have fun and like bring other people into that. So yeah, that was kind of like where a lot of it began. And if you follow the story of the visual album, you can kind of see that it's all like a dream because the other layer of this album is that there is a part of the music industry that like I inherently miss out on. Mm-hmm. I'm not straight. I'm not white. I'm not blonde. I'm not, you know, hyper feminine or really effeminate. I'm not a lot of the things that you think of when you think of a pop star or when you think of the pop girls of today. Right. So I wanted to like make that very clear and kind of call out some of the tropes and, you know, stigmas and constructs within the music industry. So you'll see in Dirty Girl with Yung Baby Tate, you see this gumball machine is full of white Barbie dolls. You see at the beginning, Girlfriend, you see this white Barbie doll again with pins in her, sort of, you know, paying an homage to like voodooism and things like that. And then as you go on, you see them again in the jars, the white Barbie dolls. And that's kind of me calling out like the machine, like it kind of like is copy paste. You kind of put a quarter in and every year it's a new pop girl. She kind of looks kind of like last season version. Yeah, she looks and sounds like last season, but that's no shame to those girls. I'm a huge Ariana fan. I love, you know, I grew up on Miley Cyrus. So like there was no bad blood against them. I've loved following Billy's journey. It's more so, it's just an opportunity for viewers and my audience to take a look at it and think, why is that? Like, what's the reason behind that? Because when you look and you listen to my music, like I could fit in there. You know, I definitely have a place within it. And so, yeah, I just really wanted to like bring that to life visually. And that's kind of like the catch of Miss Out Tonight is, you know, I'm Miss Out Tonight, but I'm also missing out and all of that.
But you're also, you know, making that moment for people and not giving them the traditional version of what a pop artist would look like, but giving them a different version and a unique version to see not only people that may look like them, but people that look different than them, to show other people that, you know, you may not always look or sound the same as whoever may be more mainstream, but you are still putting out great quality work and are making a difference in different communities. It may not be what other people may be looking for, but you're definitely making a difference. And, you know, shining a light on a lot of people who historically and, you know, publicly don't get the opportunity to speak on. So definitely for just taking this space and embracing it.
Totally. I think that it's really important for everybody to have the opportunity and the space, the safe space to just unapologetically 100% just be themselves.
Yes.
This is who I am. I like rock a top knot. My hair is nappy. You know, I like to wear my clothes a little loose. Like, this is just who I am. Like, I'm just being myself. And it's really nice to know that there are people out there who want to see me be myself. And yeah, I just choose to like focus on that and just try to give them space to be themselves too.
Yeah, I agree. And as a lifer myself, I enjoy embracing all moments of just learning about our journey. So I just want to ask, how has becoming an artist and becoming a pop artist affected or it just kind of impacted your journey of becoming yourself? Because I know that as young adults and young millennials, we're going through this phase of just kind of reflecting on life and interpreting what's going on and just figuring out how to make it our own way. So I just want to know kind of how has that impacted you now versus maybe we'll say maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think that one of the coolest things about being an artist or becoming an artist has been um, like the free space to like explore.
Mm-hmm.
And I've grown alongside my music. Like I've grown into this person and I'm still growing. And one of the most beautiful things about the LGBTQ plus community is that, you know, our whole thing is pride, you know, is having pride in who you are, having pride in other people being who they are. And I'm very, very lucky that I get to be celebrated while I'm on stage and screaming out into a crowd or, you know, on my platforms. And I get to use my platform to not only express who I am and celebrate myself, but to be received and celebrated and have that like shine or shown back at me is really cool. And it's honestly something that I would never take for granted. And I hope I get to do it for the rest of my life.
Yes, we are giving you your flowers now so you don't feel the need to have to search for them later. Look, you got it. You got it. Well, since it is Pride Month, I'm not sure how many times you celebrated. I know myself, I've only celebrated a couple of times, but what has been your favorite way to celebrate for Pride Month? Although we celebrate ourselves all year long, what has been something that you've enjoyed the most or something that have made you feel the most comfortable doing?
There's so many good Pride memories. I'm such a Pride baby. Like I love going to Pride. I love going to the festival. I think one of my favorite Pride memories, and I have so many, like I could answer this 100 ways, but it was the year that marriage equality passed in the United States. And I was underage, could not drink. I snuck out and I was in New York actually with my family. And I snuck out and went to Pride. And it was amazing. Like I was seeing people getting married on the street, like literally like on floats. People walking through the city and just walking into any church that was like along the festival or the parade lines and just getting married. And it was great. I saw people that were like, you know, old, young, Black, white, Latino, like gay, you know, bi, whatever. Like everybody was just like, it felt like a big sigh of relief, you know, like, and obviously I know that that's just like one moment in the blip of history. And, you know, that's one win, but I'm just the kind of person, like, I like to celebrate that win and like, and just revel in it for that moment. Because of course there's always going to be work to do, but it is so nice whenever you get those payoffs and you get to see work that you've done, you know, bear fruit. And so that was like a really, really special Pride moment for me. It gave me a lot of inspiration and just like hope.
That's beautiful. And we always need hope just to keep us looking forward to life, to keep us motivated so that we don't feel so down and dumb. So I'm glad that you were able to take that and just use it since then and just have been able to grow so much from it. So just kind of going back to that moment, if you will, if you just can think of maybe like a random, besides that moment, like a random funny or good moment that you experienced kind of just growing up as a flawless Black LGBTQ person.
Yeah. I mean, what's so funny is I think a lot of people look at me now and they're like, you're so unapologetically yourself and you know yourself so well. And like, sure, maybe, I don't know.
Just being me.
Just being me. I'm just taking it day by day. But growing up, I honestly didn't really know that I was gay. I think I grew up in an environment where I didn't have a lot of gay, representation in my life, or queer representation in general in my life. And so I sort of adopted this understanding that there were gay people out there. I didn't know any. And I think the way that my family talked about it was as though, it was very othering, is like the best way for me to put it. And so I didn't really understand it, and I didn't really understand it until I kind of came of age. But I can remember like one time I was school shopping with my stepmom, and we were at the mall, and I posted about this on TikTok the other day. We're at the mall, we're like picking out clothes, and I'm just like doing me, like I'm picking out my tracksuit, like
the usual.
Right, exactly. I'm just feeling myself. But I think I was like going to high school, and my stepmom was like, "Why don't you like want to get any like cute clothes?" And I'm like, "These are sweet." She's like, "Why are you
messing up my style?"
Right. She's like, "Why do you want to just wear these like baggy clothes?" And I remember she asked me, I picked up a pair of Birkenstocks, and I think that was like the straw for her. She was like, "What is going on?" And like, I'm like just focused on school. Like I have not even thought about being gay yet. But she was like, "What team are you playing for?" And I was
she
like,
didn't.
She did. She's like, "Bro, what team are you playing for?" And I was like low key offended, because like, I'm like, "Why do you think I dress gay?" But now looking back, like we laugh about it all the time now, because she's like, "You be picking up some stuff that just like," she would be like, "I knew no boys were going to talk to you."
That is so funny. I actually had a very similar experience. I was wearing some skinny jeans, and my grandma saw me and asked, she was like, "Those jeans are pretty tight. Are you gay?" I was like, "Girl, what you talking about? No." Fools on all of us.
Yeah, exactly. Literally fooled everyone. I think that that's so funny though, because everyone in my life knew I was gay before I did. Like when I came out, everyone was like, the closet was made of glass. Like, anyway, we were all just waiting for you to wake up. I'm like, you guys could have saved me like years of therapy.
Yeah, exactly. But it's all in divine timing. It's all on our own journeys. We are gonna be continue to be who we're gonna be, one step at a time, one day at a time.
For sure. Always be discovering, always be learning.
Yeah, always be learning. That is one thing that we always go by here, is to always learn.
Exactly.
So to wrap up today's interview, I just want to add, something fun, funky, very random. But what's one piece in your closet? It could be a piece of clothing, a bag, a hat, that makes you feel the most comfortable. That's like your go-to item.
Oh, I was so unprepared for this question.
Be on your P's and Q's.
I know, right? Let me get there. You know what? I'm gonna just go with the classic Air Force One. Which like I have white, but I have black too. I mean, I know you're from Chicago, so don't. I know you probably have a pair of Black Forces too.
Look, I had both, so.
Okay, exactly. But I think like Air Force Ones are just like, I mean, one of my first pairs of sneakers that my dad like had me wearing when I was in like preschool. Mm-hmm. And they're just always there. They're classic. They go with everything. Like you can dress them up, you can dress them down. You have like my beaters. I have like, collab ones. I have ones that I've painted on, and I just love like a good Force. Like it's so good. Forces are the best shoe.
Low top or high top?
I have two pairs of high tops, but I usually go low top. I mean, but again, like I'm a fan. Like I have so many pairs of Forces. Like they're classics.
Yes.
You need a good high top Force.
You do, and you need them in different colors.
For sure. I remember when I was in like middle school, my dad would always take us to Chicago to go shopping for school. And I remember one year I got the design, like a pair on the Nike website, and we went and picked them up. So fire. Like, oh, they were so fire. Like they didn't match with anything I wore, but I wore them every day. I wore them until literally the clothes fell off.
I love it. That and the spray painted shirts. Oh
my gosh, you give me a nice airbrush t-shirt. Like we're in there. Come on, with the blue lips from a rocket pop in the summer.
See, now you're taking me back to my childhood. You got to stop.
Taking me back. That's where I would love to be.
Yes, peaceful, no bills, no responsibilities.
Exactly. Oh, all you gotta do, riding in the back seat, sleeping after you've been like outside all day.
Yeah, somebody else washed your clothes.
Oh my gosh, the life.
Yes, I love it. Well, thank you for coming on and being extraordinary, giving us such a great time here. I've appreciated it. And I hope that everybody that's watching, that's listening, I hope that you all were able to, take something from this conversation and apply to your life. Hopefully, if anything, it just gives you hope to be awesome, keep living. But do you want to leave the people with your social media or anything left that you want to share with them?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks so much to the Closet Unlocked for having me today. I had such a good time with Darius and everyone watching. My name's Siena Liggins. That's SIENA LIGGINS. You can find me pretty much anywhere if you just search that name. Check out my album. It's out tonight. I had a lot of fun making it, and I put everything into it, so it means the world to me. And let me know what you think. What's your favorite track? Always reach out to me.
Yes.
I appreciate it so much. Thanks again for having me.
No problem. Y'all heard she said she'd be reading tweets, so make sure to go ahead and tweet y'all comments to her about the album.
Good or bad, rate me.
Yes, please do all of the above. Yeah. But y'all, that's all we have today. We'll be back next time talking about more Black queer folks being represented at the table. But until then, peace out.
Later.